Welcome to another episode of the Love and Reality Podcast. I am your host, Ricky Valero. On today's episode, we are diving headfirst into a brand new reality TV show called The Trust, a game of greed. Folks, I'm telling you, this is one that's going to be talked about all over the internet. This one is wild. It's crazy. It's backstabbing. It's manipulative. It's just kind of all over the place. It reminds me very much a little bit of Surviving Paradise that we saw at the end of last year. But what is The Trust, a game of greed? It is 11 strangers are given $250,000 to split evenly. Will they take their fair share, or will the allure of more money cause them to vote each other out to keep more for themselves? It's the ultimate test of human nature, as greed and mistrust threatens to destroy even the strongest of relationships. The episodes are going to drop in 3 different batches. Batch 1, episodes 1 through 4, airing January 10th. Episodes 5 through 7, airing January 17th. And then batch 3, the finale, is going to air on January 24th. Whew. All right, folks, before we jump in, I am going to break down everything that happens in episode 1 and 2 on this episode. And then I will do another episode about 3 and 4. I'm excited to chat about the show. Before we dive in, please, if you're listening on any podcast platforms, hit that subscribe button for me. Maybe drop a 5-star review. That would be so helpful in getting the Love and Reality podcast out there to the masses. I would greatly appreciate it. But without further ado, let me break down who is on the show. We've got Brian, a rancher. We got Jasper, a teacher. Julie is an entrepreneur. Winnie's a bartender. Bryce is a realtor. Jake is a military contractor. Joel's is a police officer. Tolu is a marketing manager. Jay is retired. Lindsay's a business coach. And Simone is unemployed. Of course, it kicks off like we do any show. We are meeting the cast who are talking about what the money would mean to them. Brooke, our host, she announces she's going to hold she holds an envelope worth $250,000. She announces the rules about throughout their time, they will come to the edge of the cliff if they want to share it equally or cut someone out for more money for themselves. Cutting people opens the door for more money. However, in a twist, if everyone votes at a specific moment to keep splitting the money, one person decides not to, that person will go home. So you can't be completely selfish. If there is a tie, everyone stays. The first time they will make a decision is right now. Brooke asks anyone if they would like to cut someone out, step forward. Nobody, of course, steps forward, so no one will be cut. The next time they will make a decision alone with just them and Brooke. All right, so this is where we kind of get everybody jumping into this beautiful place. Brian talks about he's excited to be off the ranch. Tolu and Winnie hit it off right off the bat. Julie says there's 3 of them. The 3 of them will be best friends or bite each other's heads off. They pick the 3 room where they possibly talk alliances. Like, it's awesome. Like, I love this aspect of the game. There's certain people that are just going to be in love with what they're seeing on the TV, right? Or inside this house. They're going to be just enamored. And then there's the smart individuals that are jumping headfirst into the game where you're like, all right, I need to make friends. I need to make alliances. I need to talk to these people. I need to know where my head is at. I need to know who's going to be my friends because I A, want to walk away with some money, and B, we know this is a game and people are going to go home. I just don't want it to be me. So I love the aspect of people getting to game playing early while like Bryce is over here looking at the house because he's a realtor. Jay, 70-year-old elderly lady, is a blast. She's funny right off the back. Simone, she's unemployed. Tolo says she's from Houston and knows that there is a million fuckboys like Joel's where she's from. Joel says he tells everyone he is a stripper, but doesn't tell anyone that he's actually a cop. He's playing it up with the crowd, saying he's a personal trainer and a stripper. Julie says she doesn't trust him. I mean, as you should. The guy's lying right up the back here. Everyone is at the bonfire when Brooke arrives with a box in her hand. Throughout the game, they're going to have certain tests to get to know each other, to maybe figure out who they want to share the money with. This particular box has secrets in them. They will pull a secret and read it. They will pick who they think it is, the person's secret, and then they will say, hey, this is your, Joel's, is this your secret? And the person's secret does not have to reveal who if it's true or not. So if you say, Joel's, I think he's like, someone here is a stripper, and they go, Joel's, it's you. He does not have to admit to being a stripper or not. Now, which is funny because the first question that popped up was our regular lab about my occupation. We filtered through these quite interesting secrets going back and forth. Somebody's secret after being cheated on, I slept with over 150 people as a retaliation. Everyone thinks it's Joel's, but he said it wasn't him. Someone cheated on their ex-spouse. One of the biggest secret is someone is a millionaire amongst the group. They call out Bryce as the person they think it is, and he really is, but he lies to everybody about it. So that's definitely interesting to keep it tight-knit. Lindsay decides she's going to announce which secret was hers. And it was the one where she said she cheated on her ex-spouse because she didn't want the $1 million pinned on her. Smart, again, smart game playing right off the bat. Winnie thinks Bryce is lying about the $1 million being the millionaire thing because of the way he eats, walks, and talks. Julie says that Jake has the hots for her and will use it to her advantage. I was like 15 minutes in the show and I hated Julie already. Like, I just can not stand her at all. Like, she just has this presence, the way she talks, the way she acts, the way she just everything. And as we go through these episodes, you'll understand why. Jake tries and walks in Winnie's heels, and it is hilarious. I love this so much. Jake gets some brownie points right off the bat for some fun, being yourself, just going out. Following morning, Jasper is making fun of mocking Jake's push-ups on the morning. It was funny. I'm really digging the cast early on. And of course, one of the things that's really cool that you notice early in the show is like every time Brooke arrives, we get like a slow-mo or we get the music changing. But she announces that below the house is a vault. And in a moment, two people get access to the vault using the key cards. They will be presented an offer that benefits them and then benefits the whole group. What happens in the vault stays in the vault, or they can tell everyone. Two people who pull the silver card will go into the vault together. Joel's is the first person to get a silver card, and then the second person is Simone. Tolu isn't thrilled that Joel's and says he could influence Simone inside the thing. Joel said he's able to use this to gain the trust of the group. The offer they put on the table is offer 1. You can each take home $2,500 if someone is cut from the vote. Offer 2, you get $5,000. It will be added to the overall pot but must block 2 people from voting that night. They agreed to offer 2, and they should go and announce it to the team. They said they can pick the 2 names at the top. So they come back and they tell everybody, all right, look, here's the deal. Here was offer 1. Here was offer 2. And we took offer 2, helped support the team. And what they did was Bryce and Tulu's names were 1 and 2 on the wall. So they picked their names as the people that wouldn't get to vote, that their vote wouldn't matter. Now, she says nothing is at random and feels like she has always had these things taken from her. She's telling everyone she thinks he's targeting her. Tulu speaks up, and Simone says she didn't think it was the right to pick her, but Joel said they made a choice and it was the best they could do. Joel's votes to keep it, and then of course now it's time. It's time for our first vote. Everybody goes out to this little cliff, sits with Brooke, talks game, talks strategy, where their head is at, and you have the option of voting for somebody, or you just say, I'm abstaining from voting for tonight, and you want to keep the amount of people together. Joel's votes to keep everyone in game. Bryce says he will never vote anyone out. Julie votes for Joel's to be kicked out of the game. She said the girls have decided that people need to step up and show who is the boss. Winnie backs her up, Lindsay backs her up, and votes Joel's as well. Brooke comes back to the table, announces that at least one person will be voted. At least one person is voted out, and the trust has been broken, and someone is going home. She announced Joel's has been voted out of the game, who is not happy. Everyone else shakes their head in shame. He said he's disappointed and didn't vote, and said he failed everyone. The table asked anyone to come clean, and our cowboy Brian is pissed. I mean, this dude was angry, and now he's ready to seek out revenge. He said he wants to knock them out. Jake is also pissed as well. This is my thing, okay? It's a fucking game, and you should always be ready to play the game. It's a game. Let's play the game. Let's do what we can to manipulate our way to win money. You already know this is going to happen. You already know somebody's going to get voted. Okay, we're not going to have all 11 of these people walk out the door however many days later with the same amount of people, with the same amount of money. It's not going to happen. That's not how these work. So playing the game, playing strategy, making alliances is the smart play. Of course, everything you want in your mind, Brian, everything's rainbows and butterflies. It's not, bro. It's reality TV. If you've ever watched a reality TV show, you would know these things. But end of the episode is Jack and Jasper and Brian talking strategy about what their next moves are going to be. Flipping on over to episode 2 here. We are back with more drama with the trust vault valued at $255,000. Winnie, Lindsay, and Tolu are all talking shop about how they're going to take their team to the end along with Lindsay and Jay. Brian said his trust is shaken, but must push it aside. If he's going to preach trust, he needs to be an example of it. Like, what? Brian goes around apologizing to folks for how he acted at the table. Tolu and Jay saw whales, and they were super duper excited about it. Jay said he hadn't seen any tropical birds yet and doesn't understand why. Look, when I tell you Jay says the most random shit in the world, and it is funny from start to finish, it's just an absolute joy. Every single time she talks, I love it so freaking much. We get story time with the crew. Who cares? Blah, 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 blah. It's test time, though. This is the stuff. I'm going to skip to the fun stuff. Brooke says it's important to find out where everyone stands amongst each other. They're going to rank each other when she says something. First, we're going to vote smartest to least smartest is up. Everyone is jockeying for position. This is a chance to watch. And this, again, this is a game. This is your chance to watch individuals move around and kind of place themselves and see who thinks that they're the smartest, maybe who's the best game player, who's the this, who's the that. If you're in this situation, you're trying to play middle of the pack. I'm just going to put myself in the middle. I'm going to be like, am I the smartest? I might be the smartest, but I'm going to put myself in the middle. However, Julie says she wishes she had MySpace top friends and rank her own friends. So listen, let me explain something. I got off track for just a second here. Julie said she wishes we had MySpace top friends still and she said she ranks her own friends on her iPhone notes. Is this girl going to have any friends after the show's over? Because if you find out that your friend, like this is an honest question that I want everybody to know. If you found out that your best friend ranks individuals, her friends, inside her phone, would you want to know? And B, if you found out that you were lower than you thought you should be, would you still be friends with that person? I got to know the answers to that. However, let's go. Julie and Jack are fighting over the top spot. She says she knows smart. She knows she's smart, and Jack has blue eyes, blah, 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 and is made because she's mad because he put himself first. She asked if he thinks he's smart, she's smarter, and he said yes. Or if he's smarter, she asked if he thinks he's smarter. He said yes, and she says, I think you're dumb. Hilarious. Bryce wisely plays the game and puts himself at the bottom. Again, play the game, play the game. Next was the order of leadership. Jack puts himself at the top again. And when he points out that he puts himself first in line, and it's showing everyone that his dominance. Again, we're playing a game, and Jake is, did I call him Jack? I might have called him Jack. Jake is failing at this game. So if I call him Jack, I'm sorry. Whatever. You know what I meant. Jake puts himself at the top again. So Lindsay is talking about how they have to chop off the head of the snake, which is, again, brilliant. Brooke brings the leader, Jake, to the front of the line. She's going to name a category, and he has to rank them. Again, you put yourself in position to put a target on your back. You deserve what you get. So she wants to do most loyal to least loyal. He puts Brian to the front. Julie calls out Jake's decision-making and said it's one of the best. It's literally one of the best moments yet. Lindsay isn't happy. He put her at the end of the line after they talked and she acted vulnerable. Brooke makes him, he makes himself put himself in the line, and then he puts himself second. Like, bro, you had an opportunity to really shine this light. I'm being like an unselfish person. You want to be the leader, I get it, but man, he dropped the ball here. Jake's not happy about how he treated Julie. I hate Jake too. Get this dude out of the house. She makes him make one more decision. Brooke gives him the choice to pick who will go to the vault with him, and he says he can pick himself. So he picked Bryce and Jasper. He said it's not his time to go to the vault. Tolu is snapping at the camera because Jake mentioned Bryce's power being taken away at the vote, but didn't mention her power being taken away. Insane here. All right. Offer one, they can both take $5,000 and they have to both vote the same person out. However, offer two, they can save someone from the vote but lose $10,000. They both agreed to take offer two. Back at the house, Jake is trying to save face. Bryce mentions to Tolu because of what she did, but Jasper mentions protecting Jake because he trusts them. Jasper says if we protect Jake, they might be targets as well. Jay is calling out Jake for his misogyny. I love Jay. She's my hero. They're all calling out Jake's ass. Jake is dead, folks. Tolu is saying that Jake keeps calling her the African princess, which is making her very uncomfortable. Julie is calling out Jake, but she tempers it and uses him by saying it was okay. Brian and Lindsay are talking. Lindsay's pissed off at Jake. Jake has made everyone mad. This guy has pissed off everyone. These two make an agreement that they won't vote for each other. Jake walks in while they're talking, and she says she doesn't want to hear his bullshit. Jasper and Bryce have returned to talk to trust. They tell him that they were offered $10,000 from the pot. They also turned the money down and took the $10,000 out of the pot. Jake is talking to the camera, begging that they picked him. The person that they picked to save was Julie. They went off based on the same pattern that everybody else did. Obviously, Bryce, Winnie, and then and followed by Julie is her next name. So they picked it in order. They asked about what happened while they were gone. People explained that Jake's actions made people upset. Jake tries to defend himself. Jay calls out Jake for being misogynistic, saying she is married. She is married from someone that was in the Vietnam War, and he listens to women. She calls him the fuck out, and I loved every minute of this. It was incredible. It's just, she continues to railroad Jake in under the bus in one of the greatest moments in reality TV that I've seen in a long time. It was just brilliant, calculating maneuver and game playing, but also honesty at the same time. Simone interrupts her, saying she wasn't upset and sticks up for Jake. Jay is even more pissed off now. Jake gives a fake apology and cries. Tolu rolled her eyes. Let's fucking go. Tolu knows the shit. Brian said, if people think that Jake is a problem, a vote for Jake means he's done. This bad boy's heating up. And that's it for episode 1 and 2 of the Trust a Game of Greed. Folks, if you are watching the show with me, I need to know what you think of these first 2 episodes because they're insane, they're intense, they're crazy, they're wild. Let's talk about them. Let's talk about Joelle's being the first person kicked off the show. We're going to dive into episode 3 and 4 in the next episode. I can't wait to talk about the show even more. Folks, check out some more content coming in the very, very near future. I've got content coming for The Trader, which is live this Friday. I will have a podcast about that on Monday. I'm going to have lots of content coming out. I hope I don't overwhelm you guys with too much content, but thank you guys so much for the continued support of the Love in Reality podcast. We will be back talking episode 3 and 4 of the Trust a Game of Greed very soon.